I'm super excited. We have now got Pelvic Power at Optimal Spine and Sports Dimension. Pelvic Power is basically a massive electromagnetic magnet that is used to help the pelvic floor. It's a machine that is developed in Switzerland. There's not very many of them in the UK. As a matter of fact, there's only a handful of them in the UK. I've got Nicole with me today that has been working on this chair for a very long time. She's a physiotherapist with great knowledge about the function of the pelvic and how to treat pelvic dysfunctions using the Pelvic Power.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you very much for coming. What is the most common condition that you in your clinic uses the Pelvic Power for?
So I kind of came across Pelvic Power by accident. So my pelvic health physio came back from London, actually been at Maria Elliott's clinic, and said, I found this amazing chair. And my first thoughts were, gosh, it sounds a little bit too good to be true, because you kind of sit here, it's not painful at all, and it's actually strengthening your pelvic floor. So when people are coming into the clinic, we really see a variety of conditions. In my clinic specifically, we see a lot of people who've got incontinence. So incontinence is one of those things that often people don't like to talk about. But of course, so many women, particularly if they've given birth to children, have had that stretch, have had that trauma to the pelvic floor. Sometimes they may have had tears or episiotomies. And actually, this is such an amazing way of strengthening those muscles. So incontinence, I would say, is a big one. We also have had some amazing results with people with erectile dysfunction. So one particular guy that springs to mind was a chap who actually has had incontinence and erectile dysfunction since he was 15. And a lot of people don't necessarily understand this about the Pelvic Power, but it doesn't just help people with weakness in their pelvic floor. It also helps people who maybe have too tight. So sometimes the pelvic floor actually has hypertonicity. The muscles are too tight. So if we think about this particular gentleman with erectile dysfunction, what was happening is actually it wasn't that he had lots of weakness, it was that his muscles couldn't relax to allow that blood to flow into the penis for him to maintain his erection. So we used these high frequencies to relax those muscles. And it was actually his wife who came in, and she was having treatment, and she said, could this work for my husband? And so we tried it, and he now is still, he was in his 30s when he first started treatment, and he hasn't had to come back for any more treatment. So we were able to relax that pelvic floor, and his incontinence and his erectile dysfunction both improved from something so simple, just sitting on a chair, painless. It's not for everybody. Sometimes, you know, if you've got metalwork in there, there's certain things. If you've got any active cancer in your pelvis, we can't use this, unfortunately. It's very, very powerful, but it can be so revolutionary for so many people.